Hi, this is Lynn Madijan from Madijan's Herbals, and we're in October. Yay! My favorite month of the year, and we're going to spend each one of the lives for this month, with the exception of the new moon coming up, talking about Halloween and Samhain, and we're going to be doing some fun things with Halloween and Samhain. So what we're going to do today is we're going to talk a little bit about what Samhain is and where it is in the year. We're also going to, I've set up my Samhain altar, and so we're going to talk about that as well. I will be doing on the 31st a Samhain ritual, just like we always do here on live, and it will be a combination blue moon, full moon, and Samhain ritual. So I thought I would start with the altar so that if you choose to create an altar for yourself, you'll know how I do it. Now, whatever you do for your altar is perfect. This one is perfect for me. So, talking a little bit about Samhain, the Celts saw Samhain as the beginning of winter. That's when the livestock would be slaughtered to be for meat for the year because they didn't want to overwinter them. It is the final harvest is gathered. Traditionally, anything that you don't have harvested by October 31st, it's left for the spirits and the elementals. It is bonfires, and there's torches. They used to have torches and jack-o'-lanterns, which were actually turnips instead of pumpkins, that would be put in windows and on streets to help wandering spirits. It is the beginning of winter and plunging into the dark of the year as well as introspection. And so it is considered the witch's new year. So what's happening during this time of the year? The dying god is interred into the ground. The goddess Persephone has gone into the underworld with her beloved. The above here on our dimension, we're beginning to prepare for the veil to get a little bit thinner, and then and have the ancestors come visit if that's what we like to do. It is a time to finish any projects and plan for new ones, and it's the time when the crone rules the earth. Halloween and Samhain are about the same time. Now, Halloween has a fixed date. It is October 31st. There are some people that will celebrate Samhain on October 31st, but there are others that look at, it's a cross quarter on the wheel of the year, and so they'll look at the Mabon, which was the autumnal equinox, and Yule, and it will be dead center. So depending upon the equinox and the solstice it can be a series of 3 or more days that it can be if you're looking for the astrological date for Samhain. Generally, I celebrate it on Halloween because it's easier. It is Halloween and Samhain are two parts of basically the same holiday. When you are celebrating the ancestors, you're celebrating birth, death, and rebirth. It is, and so the revelry part, the birth and the rebirth, that's Halloween. That's where you go out and you have fun social activities, and it is revelry and costumes and candy. And when you're celebrating the death, that's more serious, and it is loving for your ancestors that you have had, that you know, that have lost, that have passed on, and those that are from generations back that you don't know, you never met, but you've heard stories, and they're still watching out over you. It is a fire festival. It's one of 4 fire festivals, and it is the most important of the holidays, the Sabbats. It is considered the actually the first, the highest holy day for witches. As a fire festival, at the first frost after the October full moon, which we haven't had a first frost yet, people in the old days would let their hearth fire go out. It is, they had to have fires in the winter 24/7 because 1, it wasn't easy to start a fire, and 2, that's how they cooked, and that's how they heated their house, and they heated their water, and so it always was, the fire was never out. It was always on. But the first frost after the October full moon, they would let their hearth fire go out, and then they would go ahead and go to the Druids who built the community sacred fire, and there would be a party, and there would be food shared and socialization, and everybody would leave with a torch that they would then take back to their hearth and light their hearth fire, and that gives them a whole new beginning for the next year. It was, that would be kind of a fun thing to do. If, one of the ways that we celebrate is we are celebrating life by honoring the dead. And so that's how I have my altar set up. So if you'll notice, I have skulls at the directions. And because the skulls are not colored, I have used colored candles. So I have yellow in the east, I have red in the south, I have blue in the west, and I have green in the north. And that honors each one of the directions. It also honors the ancestors by using the skulls. Now I have on my altar also the spirit of the harvest, which we will burn on Halloween. And I also have the corn dolly, which we will burn on Halloween as well. The other things that I have, I've got, the candle and candle lighters and the candle extinguisher. I have a goddess candle. I've got the salt, the incense, and the water to cast my circle. I've got a white candle honoring birth, a black candle honoring death, and a red candle honoring rebirth. And then I have here in the front, I've had 4 family members die through, in my immediate family. And so I have something that reminds me of each one of them. So in order of their death, I have a cowboy boot for my youngest sister, Lorelei, who was, she loved to boot scoot, and so I oftentimes think of her when I see cowboy boots. I have a ring that is a coral ring that my dad made. My dad was a silversmith, and this is one of the things that he made for me, and so that's here for him. Now, I've also got a bell with a unicorn on it. My mother was unicorn happy, and this was actually her bell. So so that's for her, and for my next youngest sister, I have a ball. It's a glass ball. She was a glass blower, and she made this for me many years ago. And so something to honor each one of my sisters and my mom and dad are on the altar here. I also have, and you can't see it because they're little pieces, but I've got flowers spread out here on the altar. I have got Dittany of Crete for communication. I have yarrow for healing emotional wounds. I have rosemary for remembrance. The best part about the rosemary that I have is it actually is from my mother's rosemary plant from her garden. I have rose for love. And what I do not have, but I will after I go to work tomorrow, is I have got, I will put marigold on here as well, which honors aging and honors the crone. So this is the beginning of the setup for my Samhain ritual, where we will be honoring all of our ancestors. When we had the ball, which should have been this weekend, but unfortunately we couldn't, we always have an ancestors table there, and we put a book that is the Book of the Dead. So what I'm going to do this time is, because we're still doing ritual together, if you would like to put some of your family or friends in the Book of the Dead, these are people that are, it's a remembrance that, you know, they've already passed, type the name on the screen here, and I will write it in, or the week before Samhain, October 31st, I will have the Book of the Dead at the shop if you want to come in and sign the Book of the Dead for your family. So I'm thinking, that's what I've got for you today. I am going to make pumpkin soup and pumpkin seeds on Wednesday. So if you are interested in having a nice Halloween dinner with pumpkins, that's what we're going to do on Wednesday. I'm not quite sure what we're going to do the next 2 days, but we're going to be doing some crafts, some arts and crafts, and we're going to be doing just some other fun things. So I hope you join me, and thank you for joining me today. And I hope this helped. If you have any questions about my altar or what you would like to put on yours, please send me a note, and that would be, I'll be happy to respond. So, take care, and blessed be.